for the Rumble.
It'd be a fair bit of magic damage, but of course Galio is largely tanky rather than anything else.
Yeah, it does allow the Galio to safely build tank instead of going for the DPS focus build we did see last time around. It's really difficult to take cocoons. The Braum,
I'm kind of into the Braum. The Braum angle's pretty good.
It really allows you to control how the level 1 goes very well too, and potentially stop some lane swaps. And because Wukong in this game is going to be tough to actually get impact into a Rumble or an Ezreal pre-6, because they just simply will get away pretty easily. Harpoon.
Canyon going to be canceling this one. You can see Peanut not really in the area. No knock-up going to come through, but Keen is keeping him interested for now. Canyon shows himself, and Zeus going to do his very best doing some alcove gaming here. Knock-up going to be available with that Searing Charge, but now Canyon with the Nimbus Strike and with the ability to close that gap is going to be looking all right. Does he have a Scrap Shield? No! First Blood goes over to the Blacksmith on the top side as Keen gets First Blood on Ornn.
All right.
So Dura is able to walk this one off. Peanut now rotating over. Don't know how much information Gen.G has about this one, as the wave state is kind of doomed. Delight moving forward. There's an Audacious Charge as they want Ruler, but he flashes. Gets underneath. So it's not going to be any feats of strength as far as objectives are concerned going down just yet. Dura going to get slowed down. And will be HLE answering. So Shock Blast not going to connect, as now HLE might be looking for a little bit of a turn. Crash down from Dura gets him out of dodge, as into the bottom lane goes Ruler. And so Viper going to be running back down there as, oh, we don't know about that one there, as Zeka gets a nice knock-up with the Justice Punch. Dura comes over with the Shattering Strike though, and man, another Concussive Blows just goes wanting.
The Concussive Blows not gonna quite connect. And Delayed over here, trying to make something happen again. This wave's not in a great spot to follow up, but they want to try.
Yep, Battle Braum, he's going to dive on top of Ruler. The door is going to be given. That is decent peel from Duro, but now Ruler with no flash, trying to survive as, oh god, Zeus is possibly just dead. Scrap Shield at the right time, but Keen just flashes on in. Give his teammates cool items. Rumble will be less and less useful the more this happens.
Yeah, I mean, Equalizer goes off here, but it's just paltry damage.
Yeah, nothing happens.
High MR Ornn, and he just flashes for the final auto there. Really well played.
Winter's Bite doesn't connect onto Ruler, who does have his flash back up and available. Chains of Corruption going to be coming on through as Viper now getting lower and lower. Winter's Bite goes wide. Magnus Storm picks up both of the tanks. Chains of Corruption there as well as Canyon's in with the Cyclone. They try and mitigate as best they can, but it is not enough. And there's a kill going over to Ruler. Zeus, not entirely sure about that one, buddy.
Space now, but it's felt like a disaster. Then Zeus TPing in because Zeka couldn't was your Rumble, bro. I mean, that's not the angle.
Once again, Zeus is brittle. And I've never...
Prohibitive as well, though, when you consider how well Gen.G has snowballed games. You know, Chronicles mentioned it hasn't felt as often we've seen it this year, but we know they can do it. Even Canyon's presence here almost threatens Zeka.
Well, Wind becomes lightning, and Peanut becomes almost dead.
At this stage, doesn't feel like winning a team fight is on the cards for a while. Zeus may get caught again.
Yeah, Canyon's moving on up, and yeah, I don't think Zeus is getting out of this one. Yeah, some hammer boops.
Putting a big hole on the top side of the map for Hanwha Life. I mean,
and this is going to be feats of strength as well if this turret goes down. There's the taunt, connects only onto Chovy, who flashes away. They don't manage to take down the turret on this push, but it is looking worse for wear. Canyon's moving on in, wanting to get these 5 minions towards that turret. Audacious Charge from Peanut onto Duro. Magnus Storm going to come through the point-blank heroic charge as Peanut's flashing away. The Cyclone doing a fair bit of work here. Zeka trying to be tanky, goes back in. I don't know about that one. As there's the snipe, just one after the other.
Here for Gen.G and the turret.
And the feats of strength as everyone's flashing. And yeah, Canyon looking for a little bit more. Shock Blast comes on through there as Delight able to stand beside the minion. Arcane Shift out from Viper. That gets them to relative safety. But the problem is... And turrets now falling by the wayside. The outer on the bottom side of the map, not long for the world. As we're looking for...
Chovy?
A Hextech Dragon. Yeah, Chovy could be in trouble. Zeus almost just dies as the heroic entrance comes on in. They do manage to get the Justice Punch, but Chovy's so tanky. Now Canyon looking to take down this Rumble. That is going to be successfully executed. But it's a 1-for-1 in the end. And now the Ornn Horns one's coming through. The triple knock up everyone just in the blender as Viper and Ruler are fighting, and we know that that is not a fair one. Delight goes down. Peanut trying to do his very best as these health bars are so low. And Peanut gonna get knocked up. Duro takes that as his opportunity to crash on through. They do manage to take down the Wukong, and Peanut does have a lot of sustain in these fights. Wind becomes lightning, and they do need to kill Keen. He's a lot of money to be taken down, but instead, Keen's looking to try and get it himself. That mini taunt, though, is going to be great, and now Duro has no damage.
Yeah.
And so they could just walk towards him, but with Ruler moving down. Very unfortunate. As we're going to check this one out from Ruler's perspective, as he chases after Viper, flashes for the ultimate, and manages to just walk him down.
Yeah, with lethal tempo, you're not getting away, unfortunately.
Nope.
It doesn't make any sense.
It was very funny.
Okay.
All right, Zeus is going to get spotted on vision, and Chovy does still have to flash. Crash down there from Duro gets him out of the way. Cooldown. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, and here in the mid lane, Zeka fighting against Canyon, does have the dash cannon, but my goodness, this is a Wukong that's doing a fair bit of work, finds another charge there as in goes Peanut and finds Ruler. There's the flash taunt, and Ruler once again. This mid lane has not been his best friend, and now Keen sets up the train. Will he be able to get the knockups? Of course he will, as Canyon takes down the enemy 80 carry, but now the Bash Bros are getting back to it. Zeus is looking real healthy, and Peanut and Delight just struggling to take damage here in this game. Zeka as well, going to be okay, and 3 are on the floor for Gen.G. How did that work? It's down to a 3,000 gold lead now. Remember, yeah. HLE, they had an extra dragon, and now they're all piling on top of Peanut. Gen.G. back on the horse once again, getting rid of the jungler. Absolutely fantastic.
You know?
There's a heat map, and let's just say the heat map is very small.
Yes. This is Peanut just getting collapsed on here. I mean, look, Gen.G playing around their control of the bottom vision pretty well. It was a control ward there that they somehow skirted around, I suppose, and then they're able to turn this into Dragon. Just trying to set traps for... He has a arm guard, so he's got one big fight maybe.
All right, possible battle coming on through here as we could have a Gargoyle joining at any time. Viper free hitting over the wall is fantastic positioning. Knock up onto Keen now as Peanut dives forward. They look for Canyon and they take him down. The train has left the station, but there's no follow-up. And there's the concussive blows we were looking for. Finally, Chovy shows up, but he is way too late for this party. And Ruler as well, he's even later. I think everyone's well and truly gone home, even the people that stayed the night.
I mean, starting this Baron, though, is super greedy for Hanwha Life. Zeka still has ult. I think they think they can do this. Duro looking for that angle, doesn't have flash, tried to hex flash in, but is avoided.
Yeah, well, Peanut can kind of tank it forever as Chovy's over this wall. Zeka trying to keep him interested as the Baron going down lower and lower. Remember, there's only one smite, and it's going to be Peanut that locks this one down. And now Chovy, he is just dead. Peanut dives forward. He's got the support of the Galio there as well as Duro going to get knocked up and taken down. This Sin's now an absolute monster, even from the grave. Speaking of monsters, Zeka needed to press that arm guard, otherwise he was dead.
Again, a Galio could be there at a moment's notice, has teleport as well from the side lane to join. And like you've mentioned several times, Otacon has not been Gen.G's most successful objective.
Yeah, they are terrified of this buff as Duro in a really awkward spot. Otacon down to about 8,000 health as now Peanut's just walking on up here. Teleport in from the Galio, but he's now surrounded. Viper really far away from this fight. And look at the equalizer. Ruler standing right on top of it. Canyon just spinning, having a great time though. Still, the train, it's not going to get past the door. It's so powerful. Duro going to get executed, and even though Viper's dead, it's still looking all right here for HLE. Zeka just as punching his way in. The winds of war coming down as Chovy gonna get tagged. In goes Peanut now as they're trying to find the DPS. Down goes the monkey, and it's a bloodbath in here. Zeka is just untouched, though he cannot take damage on this Galio. They're gonna be able to now move up and try to contest. He's going down lower and lower. Peanut is going to have to face check. True Shot Barrage spots out the damage being done here. So Otacon will go over to Gen.G.
I mean, the Baron is gone, so...
I mean, I'd hold the wave if I was there. I'd get them out of here.
Yeah.
And he is going to do so. Lands on top of Ruler there as well, as he can now start trying to cook him. As Delight, the flanking Braum! And they get on top of Ruler. They're looking to send him home early. He's trying to get these autos down, and finally he will be taken out. But Gen.G, they're fighting back. The True Shot Barrage finally going to be sent over. And this was an absolute Hanwha Life esports disaster. Not really what you wanted to see from them. And Gen.G even still have a whole bunch of Otacon buffs as they're looking to break open the base.
Viper here, one man against the world, but I think these Gen.G health bars are just a little too high.
Is it just the end of the game?
I think
That's
so.
the big question.
I mean, Viper's all out of mana.
Well, we'll see whether he can actually at least send a few of them back. That is first Nexus turret to go down, but these health bars are getting lower and lower. Keen, he's trying to flash in as the shock blast goes wide. These health bars, they're barely hanging on. But the Nexus turret loses interest. Another minion wave is going to taxi its way in. And Gen.G, after trying their very best to throw it as far up the pitch as they could, they pull up their bootstraps and they walk up, they get that ball, and they take it back to their base.